Oh, for me, I always support policies of that nature because I believe that a country's progress depends largely on the quality of human resource that it has. And therefore, if the state is investing in the education of its resource, for me, I always support it. So me, I'm not the person I'm not part of those who are against paying of fees for students, whether as allowed to nurses or teachers, or if at the university level. With the level of natural resources God has given us freely, if I look at nations around us and even around the world, if we have managed our country properly, by now education at the university level should be completely free for every Ghanaian. We should have a free education at the university level for every Ghanaian by now if we had managed our resources well. Because there are countries that are not even well endowed like us, but then they have been able to give free education even to the university level for their citizens.
Right.
And that is why we should even be ashamed that at this time we are only able to pay for only the first year fees of students. And that worries me because if after first year the student is unable to pay, what happens? The student drops out. Maybe that's a very brilliant chap that would have become somebody else tomorrow.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, drops out because maybe financial issues. And there are many brilliant people in this country, including those we see on the street. We call them selling dog chain, ice water, and the rest. If you happen to interact with some of these people, you realize that they have some of the brilliant brains. They have been to secondary school, have some very fine grades.
Yeah.
But because their parents cannot finance their tertiary education, they have to look for other options. And they were not lucky to get anybody to support them, and therefore they have to resort to menial jobs. Who knows? Maybe these brains, if they had been supported to go to a higher level, there may be some of the people that may come up with some of the mind-blowing changes that would turn this country into something that we all wish it should be.
Right.
That's why, for me, if we are investing in education of the Ghanaian, I support it 100%. I wish we can address all the quality issues at the basic level, make free SHS stronger than it is, and make tertiary education free for all, and not free for only those even in public schools, but free for every Ghanaian that is schooling in Ghana, whether in private or in public school. Education must be free. This policy, once again, has left out those that are in private tertiary institutions, just as we did for free SHS.
Right.
And it is this government that is saying that they are trying to enroll in private schools in free SHS. So I'm surprised that their tertiary level program did not from the onset include private investors. What the people who are the private investors or any private education institution in Ghana are Ghanaians, just like those who are in public schools. So why are we using taxpayers' money to finance those who are in public schools? And then we said if you are in a private school, it means that you don't deserve it. Many people in private school do not wish to be there. It's because there are no vacancies at the public schools to take them on.
It's not necessarily because they can afford
private education. There are
education.
many people that are going to private secondary schools, even from basic to secondary. If you talk to them, it's not because they have money, but it's because they want good quality education for their children. But at the basic level, they see that a lot of public schools, the performance is not up to scratch. So they will spend their last penny, some even borrow. Even if you go to tertiary institutions and look at students who are going there, you talk to many of them, the pain their parents are going through, or they themselves are going through to be able to go through, will blow your mind, simply because they applied to public tertiary institutions and they were not given admission. And they also did not want to sit home, so they do everything possible to make sure that they find the money to pay those higher fees at the public schools in order to be able to have secondary education. So if a policy like that is coming, even if government will not be able to pay the full cost for the private, at least the amount you are paying for those in public schools, pay similar amount to those also in private, so that they will top it up and also have similar benefits. So see, there is some unfairness in this kind of system because the taxpayers' money belongs to all of us. So we cannot always say that because these ones are public, it means that is where government money will go. and that those who are running private, the people who go there should pay the question is everyone in private school there because they have money? The answer is no. Many people wish to go to Legon, KNUST, Accra. Many people have applied, and we all know every year when the admissions come, you hear this number of students applied. They all qualified.
Right.
But this is the number that the school has been able to admit.
Exactly.
The rest, no admission, not because they are not qualified, but because of lack of space.
Yes.
So if the government does not have enough of space in public universities, and for that reason I'm unable to go there, and I decide to go to private school, and there's a government bursary for tertiary students at the first year level, why is that the same amount will not be paid for me who is also in private school, and then I will top it up? But I will be denying completely the opportunity to benefit at all, just as we did for free SHS. And I think that these are the disparities that I see in some of these policies that we must correct as a nation, because see, everybody in that school, when we say a Ghanaian, it doesn't matter whether you're in public or private school. We say the policy should affect Ghanaians. So I don't believe in the situation where we only use government money to do things for the schools when they are only public. I think that every Ghanaian deserves it. So if it is for students that are going to first year, it doesn't matter whether in public or private schools, extend the same amount. And then if the private school fees is more than what the government is offering, then the student top this up. Then the student also knows that, oh, then I am also benefiting from the policy. Same way free SHS. If private school are being included, and the government says, this is how much I pay per every student for the bursary.
Yeah. And
therefore, if you the private school, yours is more than what I pay. I'm giving you what I pay. And then those in the private can top it up and go. Then there's equity. Then there's equity in the policy.
Right.
But the policies we have done so far, all of them have left out a lot of Ghanaians simply because they could not gain admission
into public
to the public schools for that reason, which is not their fault.
Very well.
It's not their fault that they didn't gain admission. As I said, there are so many people in private secondary schools, private tertiary schools. If you talk to them, they wish they are in a public system, but there are no vacancies.
Right.
So then they have to seek to private. Right. But then why is that the policy should discriminate against them? And so for me, I'm not somebody who is against that. Why should government? I support that we use government. And as I said, if you have managed our country very well, looking at all that God has given us for free, by now, tertiary education in Ghana should have been free for everybody.
Right. Thank you, Elvis.